All right, guys, today we are talking about using manipulatives and sketches to divide fractions. So hopefully our first day yesterday of you watching videos on YouTube worked out really well. I am now officially a YouTuber, so you guys have a teacher who's like almost famous. I'm just saying. Okay, so using manipulatives and sketches to divide fractions. Now, we are doing remote learning and I'm in my house just like you guys are, which means I have no manipulatives. So we will just be using sketches actually to divide fractions. It'd be really nice if we had some manipulatives, but that's okay. We can work without them. All right, we're going to think about how to divide fractions. We're going to draw pictures to help us think about what it means to divide fractions. So if we turn in our text to page 566, okay, at the top it shows us this problem, 3/4 divided by 1/8. All right, 3/4 divided by 1/8. What that's telling us, or what that's asking us, is how many 1/8 are in 3/4. Okay, how many 1/8 are in 3/4? So I am going to, you guys know how much I hate drawing the circles for fractions, right? Even though this textbook is like obsessed with the circles for the fractions, but I'm going to do it. Okay. So first we're going to draw our 3/4. So crooked. Pretend they're good. Okay, I'm going to just cover that one up because we don't need that one. Okay, pretend we don't, that one doesn't exist. Okay, so I have my 3/4 right here. And in order to figure out how many 1/8 are in 3/4, I need to take this circle and I need to break it into eighths. Okay, so if it's already in fourths, then if I cut it this way, now what I've done is I've broken the circle into eighths. So this, my pencil's rolling. This is 1/8. This is 1/8, and so on and so forth. Okay, so each of those is 1/8. So it's still 3/4, but I can count up how many 1/8 are in 3/4. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And so 3/4 divided by 1/8 equals 6. So if you've not drawn that yet, I know sometimes I say you don't have to write everything down, but these ones I would like you actually sketching them out to practice. So go ahead and pause the video and sketch that down, and then we will go on. All right, I am actually going to grab a circle to trace because my circle drawing is horrendous. So we're going to move on to example one. Example one says, how many 1/8 are in 1/2? So for example one, we're just going to work through each of these, just talking about lots of different pictures to help us think through this. So if we're asking how many 1/8 are in 1/2, what that means is we're taking 1/2 and we're dividing it by 1/8. Okay, so I grabbed one of these. If you have these at home, I highly recommend it because I can draw a much better circle with this. So I'm going to do that for your guys' sake. All right, so there is my amazing circle now, and I need to have 1/2 of this circle. Okay, so we're just going to X this part out. We're not using that. Okay, so here I have 1/2, and I need to figure out how many 8ths are in that half. So just like I did up here, I'm going to break the entire circle into 8ths. So now I've split it into 4ths, and then if I go through this way and this way, I've split it into 8ths. So for that 1/2, if I need to figure out how many 8ths I have in here, each of these is an 8th. Guys, I'm excited about this medicine cup. This makes really great circles, so you should grab one of those. Okay, 1/2 divided by 1/8, then there are 4 1/8. So 1/2 divided by 1/8 equals 4. Let's move right along to example 2. Same thing over and over again, but lots of practice is good. So again, if you didn't sketch that out, pause me and then start back up with us after you've gotten it all sketched down. All right, example 2, we are doing 3/4 divided by 1/4. So let's go ahead and sketch it again, okay? And again, it's asking us how many 1/4 are in 3/4. Let's think about that for a minute. How many 1/4 are in 3/4? Can you guess without us even doing it? If you said 3, you are absolutely correct, because, you know, like 1/4 and you have 3/4, so there'd be 3 of them. But let's pretend we didn't know, and let's sketch it anyway, because doing the easier problems helps us to figure out the harder problems later. All right, so we need 3/4. I'm going to go ahead and break it into fourths. I only need 3 of them, so I'm going to pretend that piece doesn't exist. Okay, and now I need to figure out how many 1/4 are in 3/4. So it's already in fourths. I have 1/4, and I have 1/4, and I have 1/4. So how many 1/4 are in 3/4? There are 1, 2, 3. There are 3. And so 3/4 divided by 1/4 equals 3. All right, let's look at example 3 together. For example 3, we have 1 whole divided by 1/3. Now you might look at that and think that sounds hard because we didn't talk about how to do whole numbers yet. And I'll show you, with a picture, but just think about it for a minute. I'm asking you, what this says is how many 1/3 are in 1 whole. How many 1/3 do you think are in 1 whole? If you said 3, you are correct, but let's go ahead and draw it to help us see it. So you draw it too. If you don't have one of these handy medicine cups, I'm sure you have some sort of circle in your house that you can use, top of a soda bottle or something. Juice can, juice bottle, milk jug, but don't forget to put the cap on. Later your mom probably wouldn't be too happy with me if you forgot that. So to break it into thirds, I'm going to draw a line roughly halfway down, and then I'm going to do like a peace sign, but without the middle one. It's not perfect, I know, but it's better than nothing. So anyway, I broke this into thirds. How many 1/3 do I have in this 1 whole? Well, there are 1, 2, 3. So 1 divided by 1/3 is 3. All right. The bottom of 567 is just showing you how you can use a clock to help you think about how to break up the pieces. So you can use that if you need to. And we'll do that when we look at example 4. But I'm going to go ahead and stop this video and go on to a second one to make sure they don't get too long for them to upload for me. So I will see you on the next video.